Hey, what's slicing, everybody? Chris back with CAC Knives with another hot topic knife discussion video today that I still seem to see everywhere and often. What is everybody's issue with Chinese manufactured knives? I have 4 topics in this discussion today, and I'd love to know everybody's opinions down in the comments. I have many knives on this table at various different price points. Some of them are modified or customized in some way or another. I personally just do not see the issue of pocket knives being produced overseas. Okay? Those of you that are strictly USA buying and refuse to buy things from China, you know, that is your money, that is your opinion, and you have your opinions. But a lot of the things that you always argue, I'm going to go over today. Saying that you buy all American made, I guarantee it's false. Unless you have infinite amounts of money to where you literally shop for every single thing in your life to be American made, I guarantee you're wearing something. There's something within your view right now while you watch this video, etc., that was made in China. Guarantee it. I would bet all the money on the world. Okay, because even some things that are, you know, built in the USA use pieces from China or from an Asian country. I'm just gonna let you know that being 100% USA made is, I'm not gonna say it's rare, but it's a lot more difficult to find than you think. And, you know, as far as this slave labor goes, a lot of these knife companies try their best not really to do that. And a lot of the workers that work within a lot of these better knife companies overseas, you know, they don't have those real low-end lives that you see, you know, a lot of Chinese people having. And then that's not meant in any way to be racist, but I know that's why a lot of people don't like it, is because it's kind of slave laborish. And some things that happen in China are bad, yes. But in the knife community, they are not. They are not the same. And if, you know, a company was ever found out to be that way, I'm sure they would get bashed pretty heavily for it. But for you to say that you don't own anything from China is absolutely absurd. If you went to Walmart and bought dang near anything that like isn't food related, guess what you just bought? Probably something made in China. Like, there's probably a 90% chance that you bought something made from China. If it was not food related, that's probably where it came from. I'm just being completely honest. Even probably some of the food might have came from there. I'm not sure. A lot of times food is manufactured, at least in the Americas, maybe not necessarily the USA, but it was manufactured in the Americas. Furthermore, and this is the second point that I'm going to make, if any of these knives that you see on this table were fully 100% manufactured in America, they would, at minimum, be double the cost. Double. Okay? This here, this Finch knife, pretty rare now. You know, it sold out pretty quick. This is the Hellfire. This knife was $145 upon release. If this knife was manufactured in the USA, I 100% guarantee with Kronite, you know, Case Knives releases Kronite with, you know, their steel, their surgical steel, they call it. I'm guessing it's roughly 440C, but they're produced in America, and they're just, you know, basic trapper knives. And those with Kronite are about $90, and this is about $145, and you're sitting there going, well, that sounds cheaper, actually. Yeah, well, Case Knives isn't the known for the best quality for one and for two. This one's blade steel's a lot better, and traditional knives generally sell for less money a lot of the times across the board than these knives do, and this has a titanium clip on it, and we can go on and on and on. But the fact of the matter is that if these were 100% produced in the USA, they would come with that USA price tag. And if you do not believe me, go research companies that are fully produced in the USA. Look at Henderer Knives, okay? Henderer Knives, to get their basic, half G10 on one side, half full titanium on the other, with, whatever blade steel you're getting, you're going to pay a minimum of $400 some. Okay? Now, to get things like special handles and things like that, to change them at all, to make them special in some way or another, you're looking to add hundreds of more dollars onto that. Hundreds more. And that's the funny thing. We'll distinguish more about these Chinese companies a little bit later in the video, but there is differences in these as well. But if you're doing fully 100% America, it's going to be hard to find something cool, not the basic stuff, not the just basic G10 and plain titanium kind of things with, a lower end blade steel, not that basic stuff. But if you're wanting to get into the cool stuff, the things that I love and collect, the things that I know a lot of the knife community loves, we're talking Timascus, we're talking resin, we're talking, anodized titanium, we're talking, the flame, the cool laser engravings, things like that. If we're getting into details like that, you're going to pay a price in the US. You are. It's just going to happen. And, I would much rather buy 2 or 3 knives that all look different for the same price of that one that looks similar to a Chinese model, or a produced in China model, I should say, and have bigger collection. That's just me. I mean, if you really want to stick your full collection to US made, like I say, that is your opinion. I just don't agree with it. That was my second point. My third point, a lot of knives still bring money into America that are produced in China. And what I mean by that is these two up top, Finch, Jack Wolf Knives, these are American companies. They OEM their knives in China so that they can sell them for lower prices. And I'm actually going to break down, the owner of Jack Wolf Knives on a knife forum online broke down why this knife costs what it does. And I'm going to go over that in a video eventually. But these knives support America. While some of your money is in theory going to China, you're supporting an American business. Not just that, both these knives were purchased through a knife distributor that is also in the USA. And when I'm thinking about that, I'm just like, why are people so upset when, 70% of the money, if not more than that, are, it still stays in America. I bought them from Traditional Pocket Knives, the owner of that company, Austin. He's in America. So, in my opinion, it's almost an American purchase. I mean, I know some of the money did go to China, but you got 2 American companies that I purchased from an American distributor. So that's 3 different American businesses now, 3, that have now been helped by the purchase of these 2 knives. Okay, let's move on. Here we go. This CRKT Tuna. The scale was custom flamed by the CEO of Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Smoky Mountain Knife Works is located in Tennessee, an American company. This purchase kept a lot of money in America. The knife was produced in China, but it kept a lot of money in America. Here we go. Crane's Cutlery, a USA distributor, right? Kept some money in America there, didn't we? Even though Riot's produced in China. Probably the top worldwide manufacturer, by the way, in terms of precision for pocket knives is Riot. In my opinion, that's based in my experience of handling probably almost 2,000 knives in my life I've probably handled, and I would say they're the top dogs, okay? This was heavily customized by a Etsy seller that's located in America. He did all the shop work at his house. He bought a CRKT Pilar from an American distributor, by the way. He bought it from an American distributor, did the custom work at his house. You know, so I would say about, 80% of this knife, American funds. This knife was customized by EDC Gearhouse and Way of Knife is what their company is called. And all these customizations, all this zombie work in the purple anodized titanium, all that work was done by them. And they're located in Michigan. And, this knife basic is just like 30 or 40 bucks. And the rest of the money went to them. Not to mention they got money for selling the knife as well. Again, 70 to 80% American money. This knife was a full China knife, though it was bought by an American distributor, White Mountain Knives. But wabam, an American company makes pocket clips for these knives. This is a Lynch clip manufactured and produced in America. They make them themselves at the shop from slabs of titanium. Saying you're not supporting American companies by purchasing Chinese knives is completely false. Now, if you buy directly from the manufacturer, yes, you are only supporting the Chinese company entirely there. But unless you're doing that, even just buying from an American distributor, you're supporting an American business that keeps American jobs that wouldn't be there if you didn't buy them, okay? And my fourth issue here, a lot of problems that certain Americans and certain Chinese people have with each other are mainly because of their governments. They really are. You guys really need to do some research. If a Chinese person dislikes America, it's because of their government. And the same back, I don't personally agree with a lot of the things China's government does, but a lot of times I don't agree with things our government does either. So, most citizens are as they are. We are just citizens, and unfortunately, a lot of the higher powers determine what goes on in the world. And while they act like we can control a lot of that, in reality, we may choose who wins elections in America, but we don't really choose who we vote for, There'll be two presidential candidates left, for example. We pick from one of those two. We didn't pick the two that get there. Okay, no matter which side you're on, or if you're neutral like I am. I'm central. I like staying central. I've always thought that was dumb. I always thought we should do, a better way. We should figure out a better way to select the candidates that will run for president. But that's just my opinion. Both sides pretty much just choose who they think is going to win, not necessarily based on their ideals, but based on popularity. And China is more, I don't want to say a dictatorship, but their higher ups kind of heavily just run their country. So yeah, don't blame the people of either country for things that happen in them. Okay, it's usually the leaders that do things, and citizens suffer the consequences or the pros if good things happen of those. But my final point is, these knives are amazing on this table. I don't have an issue with any of them. They're all good. I have owned plenty of American-made knives before. I've handled them. I own some now. I don't see a difference. In any case, for the example of case knives, I think they get it wrong more than Rough Rider does. And Rough Riders are produced in China. And while the fit and finish of the handles, for example, is better from Case overall, I would say, Rough Riders knives have came a lot sharper, which is the biggest point to me for a pocket knife of somebody that's just buying one for a while. If you're buying as a collector like me, you buy for everything, including the handle. But I don't get your all's issue with it, with people buying knives from China, and there are some out there that have that issue. You cannot lie to me and say that there aren't, because I see you on the forums, I see you in comments, I know you're out there. You can't lie about it, okay? But let me know what you all think in the comments. Did I miss any big points? I'd love to know people's opinion on the other side. Why do you guys only buy fully USA made knives and don't even, attempt to buy the Chinese models? I'd love to know why you do it, what's going on in your head. I'm not looking for snobby comments or just yelling at me saying my points are invalid. Tell me why they're invalid, okay? Don't just say they're invalid. Tell me why. I love having good discussions. I like having good knife conversations. And if you agree with me and have things you'd like to add that I did not say, leave them down in the comments. But with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.